Good evening. This is the Left, Right and Centre and I'm Maria Shakil. Today, the Delhi Chief Minister, who has been skipping the ED summons, addressed a press conference and asked a question. Why is he being summoned with just months to go for the crucial general elections? The BJP, as expected, said Mr Kejriwal is guilty and hence he is running away from investigations. Even his India ally, the Congress, said he must cooperate with agencies. Can Arvind Kejriwal and Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren be arrested for failing to appear before the Enforcement Directorate after receiving summons? What are the provisions under which the ED issues summons? How have courts viewed the matter? Is the opposition charge of the centre misusing investigating agencies to target them correct? How does this brazening out by the two chief ministers help them? Is this defiance of rule of law? How is this optics helping the Aadmi party? Or is this really helping his opponents? All this I will be taking up on this show. But first, what happened today?
अब बीजेपी मुझे गिरफ्तार करना चाहती है। मेरी सबसे बड़ी संपत्ति, मेरी सबसे बड़ी ताकत मेरी ईमानदारी है।
A defiant Arvind Kejriwal launching a scathing attack on the BJP over back-to-back ED summons in the liquor policy case. This after Arvind Kejriwal's most trusted lieutenants raised an alarm about their boss's imminent arrest at midnight on Wednesday. Less than 10 hours later, the Chief Minister's residence turned into a fortress in anticipation of an ED raid. After much suspense and hectic early morning activity, the agency rubbished claims of a possible arrest. Arvind Kejriwal says the agencies are acting at the behest of the BJP.
बीजेपी की सारी एजेंसीज कई रेड मार चुकी हैं, कई लोगों को गिरफ्तार कर चुकी हैं, लेकिन अभी तक एक भी पैसे का हेरफेर कहीं नहीं मिला। सच्चाई ये है कि किसी तरह का कोई भ्रष्टाचार हुआ ही नहीं। अगर होता तो पैसा भी मिलता।
The BJP said Arvind Kejriwal cannot escape the summons indefinitely.
केजरीवाल जी जांच से भाग रहे हैं। इस बात को भूलना नहीं चाहिए कि वो दिल्ली सरकार के मुख्यमंत्री हैं और उन्हीं के नेतृत्व में उनके तीन वरिष्ठ सहयोगी मंत्री इंक्लूड हैं जो आज जेल में हैं, उन्हें बेल नहीं मिल रही।
Even as Arvind Kejriwal cries foul, he finds himself mired in yet another corruption controversy. This time over one of his biggest political planks and the party's oldest flagship scheme, the Mohalla clinics. Arvind Kejriwal's arch nemesis, the Delhi Lieutenant Governor, has demanded a CBI investigation into allegations of fake pathology and radiology tests inside these clinics. A vigilance report says the scam runs into hundreds of crores and that fake mobile numbers were used to register patients to benefit private testing labs. While the BJP is raking up the vigilance report on alleged Mohalla clinic scam, the Aadmi party says the Lieutenant Governor's bureaucrats in charge of the Mohalla clinics should be questioned. With two pillars of the Aadmi party's welfare model, health and education under attack, the series of alleged scams could dent the party's political ambitions in a crucial election year. The agencies are moving fast with the investigation, and the Enforcement Directorate is set to send a fourth summons to the Delhi CM after analysing his response. With general elections just months away, it is becoming almost impossible for Arvind Kejriwal to wriggle out of corruption charges. Vedant Agarwal for NDTV.
So what happens now? Let me take those questions to the guests who are joining us. Satyapal Jain is Additional Solicitor General of India. Dr. Mahua Maji is Member of Parliament of the Rajya Sabha of the JMM. Akshay Marathe representing the Aam Aadmi Party and R.P. Singh, National Spokesperson of the BJP. I'm going to begin with you, Satyapal Jain. I want to understand from you, here is the Chief Minister in Delhi who has skipped summons. Another Chief Minister in Jharkhand continues to skip summons. In this particular case, as far as Mr. Kejriwal is concerned, his summons are under Section 50 of the PMLA. And anyone who is summoned is required to appear in person. What happens now?
See, it is a settled law in the criminal jurisprudence that any investigating agency, maybe ED, maybe CBI, maybe NIA, before they proceed further in the matter, they are required to hold the preliminary investigations, call the accused, record their statement, examine the evidence. PMLA Act also provides for the same procedure. In this case, he has been summoned thrice, 4 times. The CM of Jharkhand has also been summoned. There is a difference between two things. You are not able to appear, and second is that you do not want to appear. If you are not able to appear because of any hindrance or problem, medical and all that, you can make a request to the investigating officer that these are the problems. Today or tomorrow I can't appear, but I will appear on the next case. In this case, he is refusing to appear, meaning thereby the basic job of the investigating agency to investigate a crime, he is denying that right to the investigating agency. It is for the ED to decide further whether to issue him the summons again, and if he doesn't appear, it is well within the right of the ED to proceed further, including the arrest of the person concerned. And let's not forget one thing more. Any person who is summoned or who is arrested, immediately then he comes under the supervision of the trial court. If you arrest a person today, he has to be produced in the court within 24 hours. Then it is the court which decides whether to give him bail, whether to send him to judicial custody, or to send him to the any other custody, police custody and all that.
Okay. Just to recall for our viewers, I want to understand from you, Mr. Jain, has it happened in the past that chief ministers in the past have also refused to appear before the agencies and they have been arrested because of refusal to appear before the agencies?
To my knowledge, as a lawyer, I have not come across any incident where any responsible person refused to appear, because even if you are granted bail, even if you are refused bail, even if you have an accused, even if you are a witness, the moment any investigating agency summons you, law requires you to appear before the investigating agency, cooperate with the investigation. While granting bail also, one of the conditions is by the trial court that he will join the investigation. Okay. Any person who is refusing to join the investigation gives a apprehension and a doubt in the mind of the investigating agency that there is something to hide and you don't want to cooperate with the investigation, then the law will take its own course.
Okay. Akshay Marathe, the Aam Aadmi Party says, and Mr Kejriwal himself has said, that this is some kind of the agency acting at the behest of the BJP, and they appear to be in some kind of fishing and roving inquiry that is being done by the Enforcement Directorate. He has also questioned whether he is being questioned as a witness or a suspect. So there are a lot of questions that he's asking. So all those questions can be answered if he appears before the Enforcement Directorate, and they'll be able to tell you, the officers will be able to tell you.
Maria, let me read a news article headline from December 11, 2023. It says, Probe Agency Enforcement Directorate withdraws plea against Chhagan Bhujbal. And the reason that they have stated for withdrawing their plea against Chhagan Bhujbal is that they have lost the files related to the prosecution of this now BJP government minister. That tells you the real story in this whole discussion today. With serious faces, if we are going to discuss the Enforcement Directorate as though it is an independent investigative agency and ignore the overwhelming evidence that it is a political wing of the Bharatiya Janata Party, we are doing a disservice to the cause of neutral and real conversations around what the situation of India is today. My chest swells with pride that Arvind Kejriwal did not join BJP like Ajit Pawar and Chhagan Bhujbal just because the Enforcement Directorate is chasing him for a false case. My chest swells with pride that my leader and my party has not broken away even once when Hemant Biswa Sarma, Suvendu Adhikari, Ajit Pawar and Chhagan Bhujbal, these names that I have already taken, have chosen the easy way out and gone and joined the BJP. Even we could have done that. Even Manish Sisodia could have done that. But he has instead chosen to stay in jail for the last 1 year.
So Mr Kejriwal is here along with other leaders in the India bloc, be it Hemant Soren or even Mr Tejaswi Yadav, have all raised questions on the lack of transparency, or should I say alleged lack of transparency on the part of investigating agencies. That brings me to my question to RP Singh. RP Singh, don't you think that politically speaking, this may, you may constantly say that why are these, leaders not cooperating? But the point that has been made by Akshay Marathe as to what happens to the cases of those BJP leaders who come from outside.
Well, they should hire Satyapal Jainji to file cases against the ED and then to pursue the cases for that. Because merely, you can't be in the judge position, neither I can be in the judge position. So let the court decide and let the court take a call on this. Mr. Marathe can give a big grin, but fact is that they have tried their best for 7 times for Manish Sisodia's bail. The court has turned it down. Court has even indicated or given observation about the money trail also. Mr. Marathe will again say, no, it's not. I know your finger, you'll raise your finger, Mr. Marathe. It's not the money trail which has been told. I'll give you one example and that will clarify the thing. The Yinder Singh Solanki, person who contested as an MLA for from the Aam Aadmi party in Gujarat, was caught with 20 lakh rupees cash, and the person who was associated with him is his driver. He said, he's not my driver. He's a person who's appointed by the central party to do the wheeling dealing for the cash and everything from the center, from the Delhi, for the Hawala thing which was happening from Delhi to Gujarat. So this is on record. I mean, we know all that, and there would have been many more cases. One was caught. So obviously, all that money which was earned through illegal means and modes in the illicit liquor scam was used for elections also. Whether it was Gujarat, Mr. Marathe, please. Did I interrupt you?
Okay.
Why do you?
Yes,
please,
this is NDTV. We don't argue.
I'm not trying to interrupt.
There is a discussion
please
which is very dignified. Please go ahead.
So the money trail will be already there in the court, and it will be proven in the court. ED will have to prove it in the court, and ED will prove that in the court also.
Yes, then why announce Mr. Kejriwal guilty, politically speaking?
No. He okay. Who heads the Delhi cabinet? Mr. Kejriwal. Anything which happens in the show, your producer will be also responsible because he is the one who's conducting. You are the conducting show, but he is at the back end also. So Mr. Kejriwal heads the cabinet, and any decision taken by cabinet, Mr. Kejriwal is equally responsible for any decision taken by the cabinet.
Okay.
And
now
coming
to the other Chief Minister, because I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to both the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP. But Mahua Manji, here is a Chief Minister, the Jharkhand Chief Minister, who skipped summons 6 times. Perhaps he has shown the way to Mr. Kejriwal, and all of them are dismissing them as saying illegal. What is illegal in the summons?
माननीय मुख्यमंत्री हेमंत सोरेन जी ने कल अपने मीटिंग में, जिसमें कि तमाम माननीय विधायकों के साथ मीटिंग हुई थी, उन्होंने साफ कहा कि जो सवाल जिस आधार पे उन्हें समन किया जा रहा था उसका उन्होंने सही जवाब भेज दिया है और उस समन को वहीं दफन कर दिया है। वो अंतिम समन था, 7वां समन। और उन्होंने पहले भी कहा था कि राजनीति से प्रेरित होकर इस तरह की कार्रवाई की जा रही है। अभी चुनाव है और आपने देखा होगा जो टाइमिंग है, कल चूंकि उन्होंने गठबंधन की मीटिंग बुलाई, चूंकि कई कयास लगाए जा रहे थे सरकार को लेकर, और सेम डे में उनके प्रेस सलाहकार के घर में ईडी की छापेमारी, कहीं ना कहीं लोगों का ये जो संशय है कि चुन चुनकर ईडी का इस्तेमाल किया जा रहा है सिर्फ अपोजिशन के लीडर्स के यहाँ, और जो भी इस पार्टी को ज्वाइन करते हैं, आप कई नाम देख सकते हैं, अजीत पवार जी हैं, छगन भुजबल जी हैं, शुभेंदु अधिकारी जी हैं, हिमंता विश्व शर्मा जी हैं। तो हो सकता है कि भाजपा चाहती है कि हमारे माननीय हेमंत सोरेन जी भी हिमंता विश्व शर्मा बन जाए, लेकिन माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने भी कहा है कि उनके खून में, उनकी रगों में जो खून दौड़ रहा है वो गुरुजी शिबू सोरेन जी फाइटर का खून है। और वो अंतिम दम
is there some kind of, is this the advice that has been given by your lawyers? I want to understand from you. Yes, Satyapal Jain, is this some kind of an advice that is being given by lawyers of these chief ministers? But because I'm sure they are examining their legal options, and if they do not respond to these summons and do not appear before the investigating agencies, it has happened in 2 cases, then the agency, what it can do, I've asked you that question, but this is defiance. They can very well say that they are not following the rule of law. But then there have been multiple states which have clearly said that they will not be cooperating with any of these agencies. And they have been, the CBI is not allowed to enter a number of opposition states also and carry out raids.
See, whenever there is any criminal trial, there are 4 stages. First is the apprehension. Some case has come to any investigating agency, they apprehend that he may be accused, he may have done it. When there is more evidence, then you become a suspect. And when you gather evidence, collect more evidence, you become an accused. And if the ultimately trial court agrees with you on those evidence, then you become a convict. But in all the 4 stages, basic decision first, whether you are guilty or not, whether your reply is satisfactory or not, whether you have committed the offence or not, is the basic decision prima facie which has to be taken by the investigating agency, investigating officer. A accused cannot say that since I have given the reply, according to me it is final, therefore I am acquitted. You have to respond to the summons, you have to state your point of view, then the investigating agency or IO investigating officer will record his finding and go to the court of law. Unfortunately, the chief ministers who are under oath, who have taken the oath under the Constitution of India to defend the Constitution, they are violating the basic principle, fundamental of criminal law. Today it is the case of chief ministers. Tomorrow there is a case of corruption against a clerk or a superintendent or a shopkeeper or a common man. Can he say, no, I have replied whatever I have to say, so therefore I will sit home, I am not guilty. Whether you are apprehending to be an accused or not has to be decided by the investigating agencies. Then whether you are an accused who can be convicted has to be decided by the court.
Maria, can I respond?
Let the agency decide whether you are guilty or not, Akshay Marathe. The question here is, by not joining the investigation and by slamming the investigating agency, how does it benefit you politically or in terms of optics with this kind of defiance? You are essentially saying
Maria,
that these investigating agencies are not doing a fair job.
We are saying these investigating agencies are a wing of the Bharatiya Janata Party, very clearly.
But
Look at
then
the
you have
chronology
faith.
of this
Okay,
case.
one moment.
Maria,
faith.
allow me
one
to
moment.
finish. You have
Akshay,
given everybody a free
No,
hand
you
to
also
respond
got
to
a fair
your question.
chance. Akshay, my
So let me
question then
respond.
is that if you do not have faith in investigating agencies, you should have faith in the courts of the country. The courts of the country haven't really given relief to either Manish Sisodia or Satyendra Jain.
And have we said that Manish Sisodia and Satyendra Jain should be forced out of jail? No, we have respected the bail rejection by the court. We have not said anything against the bail rejection. All we are saying is, look at the chronology of this particular case. The investigation begins 2 years ago. In those 2 years, Manish Sisodia is arrested 1 year ago. Sanjay Singh is arrested 4 months ago. Arvind Kejriwal himself is questioned by the CBI 8 months ago. He sits for 15 hours, answers all their questions. And now, on the eve of the Lok Sabha election, the Enforcement Directorate wants to arrest Mr. Kejriwal. So they are summoning him. It is a very clear political script laid out by the Bharatiya Janata Party. Even their own leaders are not denying it. Even RP Singh ji said Arvind Kejriwal is an accused. But even the Enforcement Directorate has still not said that he is an accused. The Enforcement Directorate has not said Kejriwal ji is an accused. They have not said Kejriwal ji is a witness in the case. So then how is the BJP saying that he is an accused? How is Satyapal Jain, the ASG of India, saying Arvind Kejriwal is an accused? Do they have any internal information from the Enforcement Directorate, or are the BJP leaders the ones who are supplying the script to the Enforcement Directorate? That is what the reality of our country has become. Any individual in this country who has ever faced legal problems will understand what Aam Aadmi Party is going through. We are being harassed by powerful people in the Bharatiya Janata Party because we have refused to toe the line. We have refused to fall in line and join them.
RP Singh,
and
there are some
any Aam Aadmi
questions
today knows the
which I'm going to repeat what Mr. Kejriwal has asked. He doesn't even know whether he has been summoned as a Delhi Chief Minister or Aam Aadmi Party convener. So these are questions which must be responded to by the agency. In what capacity is he being questioned?
Well, before I answer that, 5 ministers, former ministers of Congress Party were arrested, put in jail by the Aam Aadmi Party in Punjab. Now, what shall we treat it like? If I'm rightly, if my knowledge is right, even the Deputy CM is probably still in jail. I mean, 4 probably would have got the bail, but Deputy CM is still in jail. So, how do those people treat when they were called for investigation and were arrested during the investigation? So, there it's fair. I mean, now, if you draw a parallel here, this is very unfair here, one. Secondly, I never accused Kejriwal. I said he should, the chronology is this, and this is the basic knowledge that Chief Minister is responsible for any decision taken by the cabinet, because he is the one who heads the cabinet. Although even if he doesn't sign the papers, even then he is responsible as a Chief Minister for anything decision which is taken by the cabinet. If any advantages were given to the liquor mafia in city, and that has already been observation of the court that Mr. Sisodia is the architect of the liquor scam. That's not my observation. Court's observation. So if that is the observation, obviously the person who is heading the cabinet will be equally responsible. Now, whether he is accused or not, that ED will have to go and take it
politically speaking. Okay, that's a subject of legal, legal space. I want to understand from you politically. If all your political opponents are in jail, then what exactly will you be and who will you be fighting against?
No, whom do you treat as political opponent? I mean, issue is
if the major faces of Aam Aadmi Party are already behind bars in multiple corruption cases. So, in terms of optics, what is the messaging that BJP is trying to send?
Messages that we will ensure that we fight against corruption tooth and nail. Now, they name people. If you want me to explain each and every case, I'll explain each and every case also. Okay. But fact is, none will be spared, whether in party or outside party. No cases have been closed. Nothing, there's no case which will be left out. But fact is that they have tried 7 times in Manish Sisodia's case. Vijay
so what about Ajit Pawar? Why don't you answer specific questions about Ajit Pawar?
Mr. Anarchist, please hold your breath. Mr. Anarchist.
Mr. Anarchist,
let me bring in Mahua Maji. Mahua Maji, yesterday, only Mahua Maji on the screen now. I do not want...
Why don't you hire?
There's no point out-shouting each other, only Mahua Maji now on the screen. Yes.
What is the question?
Yes, I'm asking you, ma'am. Mahua Maji, the question is also that here is the Chief Minister who perhaps has done some kind of survey and he realizes that there will be sympathy. But Jharkhand is a state which has seen corruption charges against Chief Ministers. Why is the party thinking that he'll get some kind of sympathy?
करप्शन के जो भी केसेस, जो भी आरोप है, वो सिर्फ आरोप है, उसका कोई आधार नहीं है। और माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने सारा जवाब लिखकर भी दे दिया है। इसके पहले जब भी ईडी ने उन्हें बुलाया था, रात को 9 बजे तक उन्होंने बैठकर सारे आरोपों का जवाब दिया है। और उन्होंने कल की मीटिंग में साफ कर दिया है कि जो भी आरोप उन पर लगाए गए थे, उन्होंने लिखकर दे दिया है और उस समन को वही दफन कर दिया है। इसके आगे पूछने के लिए कोई सवाल है ही नहीं। और यहाँ तक कि कल की टाइमिंग देखी, कल जब उन्होंने अपने यहाँ सभी विधायकों को बुलाया मीटिंग की, उसी दिन उसी समय में जो उनके प्रेस सलाहकार के यहाँ ईडी का छापा पड़ना, क्या ये साबित नहीं करता है कि किस तरह से राजनीति से प्रेरित है जो आरोप हमारे माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने ईडी पर भी लगाया था। और हर स्टेट में ऐसा हो रहा है, जब आप किसी के खिलाफ केस करते हो तो पहले ये देखते हो कि भाई वो किस पार्टी में है। उन पर ईडी की छापेमारी तभी होती है जब वो भाजपा पे नहीं होते हैं। ये बार बार ये सवाल उठ रहा है कि इस देश की केंद्रीय एजेंसी है, अभी तक कोई आरोप सिद्ध नहीं हुआ है, इसलिए आप ये नहीं कह सकते हैं कि यहाँ भ्रष्टाचार हुआ।
Absolutely, I'm in complete agreement. That's why I said alleged corruption charges. Satyapal Jain, my question then is that can a sitting chief minister be arrested only for defiance?
See, 2 things should be very clear. अभी बहन जी बोल रही थी कि आरोप सिद्ध नहीं हुए, हमने बयान दे दिया है। Let's be very clear about the criminal law. Forget about the politics. If there is an apprehension that you have committed some offence, it is the investigating agency which prima facie finds an opinion whether you are guilty or not. They take the case to the court of law. It is the court of law which decides whether you are guilty or you are not guilty, whether you have to be released on bail or not. You may not have faith in the government. You may not have faith in the ED. You may not have faith in the investigating officer. You have faith in the court of law. If you feel that summons are exceeding the powers of the enforcement directorate, if you feel they are illegal, if you feel that you have already given the replies, the doors of the courts are always open for you. And in a number of cases, courts have granted anticipatory bail, courts have decided to restrain the respondent from investigating the matter. Sitting at home, nobody can decide whether you are a PM or a chief minister or a central minister.
All right.
You are not guilty. Guilt will be decided by the court.
Dr. Mahua Maji, Akshay Marathe and RP Singh, thank you so much for joining us.